So, welcome to something new. I'm going to try this, see how it goes. So, welcome to a Brew with Rory vlog style, video log style. So, the first few photos are from Rory. So, this just adds a bit of context to the last podcast I did, Shark Week. So, this is where I was living on Nauru. Most of these photos here are pretty much across the road. So, about 50 metres from my bedroom inside a shipping container. That's the old bunker, the one before that. We used to sit on the bunk of the bar and have the Arvo beers and watch the sunset with the two mics. Here you can see some of the old equipment used for the mining. So we've got two boat harbours on the island. So just forward, you can see one just to the right in there. And very sunburnt Rory with one of my good mates, Mike. That's literally from the balcony looking out. And then we've got the crane from the phosphate. Some beautiful sunsets on the island. You can see the waves breaking out. So that's the outer reef. So you got to get out to that, and that's where the drop-off is. At low tide, that's all dry between there and the outer reef. I mean, at high tide, it can be sort of 4 or 5 foot deep, and you can snorkel out if it's a nice day. It's boat harbour number 2. That's the boat ramp on the island. So another view from the boat ramp. The boat ramp was a really good place for the kids. We'd all go on their afternoons for a swim. You can see them all swimming in there in the boat ramp. Yeah, it brings back great memories. I really enjoyed my year on Nauru. Would love to go back. Maybe. There's a great photo of the shadow of the three of us sitting on the bunker bar, and then there's Mike on the bar. Geez, we had many a good afternoon sitting on there, knocking back the beers. And here's some underwater photography, which is definitely not my skill. You need very specialised gear to get good photos underwater, but it just gives you a bit of an idea what it looks like. My favourite fish, the old lionfish. Saw one over there. Really fished out the reef on the island. It's just a lot of the small reef fish. It's not much sort of fish that you'd really eat. I mean, the Neurones would go out and spear anything, palm size and things to eat. Now we're into some of the shark from the Logan, so not great pups, but it's thick with them in the river, out and under the power lines with James Forrest there. Nice little shark he caught. Can be a bit of a pest, really, when you're not fishing for them. Nice flathead just to prove that I can. And then Wayne with a kraken bream down in the Tweed River. And Brooksy with a ugly looking puffer fish. So I love my sunrise and my sunset photos. But James and Wayne, and there's Wayne feeding a peewee that stopped. We always have great times on the boat. We should go on the boat more often. It's always a lot of fun. And then now we're on Northwest. So this was last September. Not last year, because COVID was last year. Oh no, sorry, it was last year we went, but in October, I think. With Ryan and Rachel, there've been many times, and we were all supposed to go at Easter, and Ryan and Rachel got away, but unfortunately the doctors had different news for me. You could see the sharks there. This is the barge coming up to the island, sort of on sunrise. Absolutely stunning. That morning, we left Gladstone at about 11 p.m, I think, midnight, and 7-8 hours on the boat, and then this was sunrise and waking up to see this. So the boat just sitting out off the deep water. It's just loaded me. I'm in that tinny floating, so it's just loaded me off the ramp, and here's me sailing into the lagoon. So the lagoon's high and dry at low tide, so you got to time it to get in and out. The boats will sit on the sand. All that's just walk out to the edge, and then the high tides you can creep out. So that's coming up to high now. That's why the boat's coming in, and then the big barge is going to creep in behind me. But beautiful. There's the boat sitting high and dry. Brooksy with a nice Spanish. That was the first really good fish that boat caught. Nice coral trout. Looks like I'm about to rob a bank. And then Rachel's pulling them in, showing Brooksy how it's done. Looks like a decent fish. And Brooksy just taking over. And I think he's pulling in a little parrotfish here, which are very, very tasty. Oh, this brings back great memories. I hope this just adds a little bit of context to the stories. I won't do this all the time, but I thought I'd have a bit of a play with it and see what people think. Yeah, nice little parrot. Very tasty. And then here we go, some of the sharks coming to say g'day. This isn't feeding frenzy, but definitely comes soon. Ryan's fishing through them. See them if you know how to read a sounder. Loaded up on sharks, and then something big's just jumped out of the water there to that top third of the screen. So the sharks were just starting to get a bit fired up on this day. And then I think this is the video that's coming in. This is where we're feeding the fish frames, and I tell the story in the podcast, and the sharks are attacking the boat. So it all seems very calm on this video, but they are literally headbutting the back of the boat, and a few of them are biting the propeller. So the propeller's not in gear, but it vibrates still, and it's about something to do with the vibrations, and they literally bite the prop. And they knocked the boat out of gear. So when I went to take off, no boom, no broom. So you can see them all there, absolute pack of them. And as I said in the podcast, I had to keep pulling the camera out of the water because the sharks are coming up behind to bite the camera. They were everywhere, they were thick. And they're not the biggest sharks we saw. There was one tiger I saw pretty regularly on the island that was sort of 12 to 14 foot. That thing was huge. And when that swims up next to your boat, you get a bit of a shock. Look at them. Absolutely crazy. It was a great experience. I'll never forget. Look at them. There they are. So I hope you enjoyed this. Something different. I don't know how many of these I'll do, but I've been going through some photos, so it's a good way to me to share some photos and add some context to the podcast. A bit hard to watch while you're driving or something, but yeah, thanks for watching.